So today we're going to be looking at Liga Portugal and also the Liga F. There is some decent cards across the board, to be honest, and I must admit when we did get the final announcement that these were being the final team of the seasons, it's not a bad combination to go with. Now obviously we were looking at the Liga F. There's obviously a fan favourite. There's a few fan favourites actually in the Barca ladies. We've obviously got Hansen coming in relatively cheap. We'll kind of get onto her a little bit later. We obviously have Putellas at 2.4. We have Bonmati at 6.13. Peugeot coming in now with a team of the season. Still no Rolfo, which would have been really nice to have. Obviously Battle from the right back side of stuff, and then a few more kind of scattered around that you could possibly get relatively cheap, which is always nice. Definitely a little bit less on here. One thing I wanted to try and have a look at was when we get to the start, say the WSL, we did only have 3. I thought we had more players in the female league at the end. Obviously the Liga Portugal as well, throwing out a little bit of Guy Carrez at 9.50. Always going to be great. And then there is a lot of players that are just going to be unfortunately thrown in the bin. Diogo Costa though, coming in as a 12k keeper if you really wanted to. 6'3", so big question marks there. And as we do go further down, you can kind of see a couple of players that might be worth looking at. Now obviously if we was to look at our kind of number one star boy from this, it's going to be Victor. Now he is moving. I don't actually know if it's been confirmed where he's moving, but it is confirmed that he is leaving at some point kind of over this summer. So it will be interesting to see where he does go. We have got the quadruple playstyle plus on him as well, which is even better. Finesse, beautiful, rapid, press proven, low driven. That for me is the perfect striker combination you can go for. Now, does he line up against the top of the top? And I think he's close. I do think if I'm being really brutal with him, he's going to be on that very cusp. Like, would you say, do you take a team of the season Mbappe against him? Do you take an R9 against him? Do you take a Hullet? Well, let's kind of go through the strikers here. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of top-end strikers at this moment in time. I think, personally for me, if he's not a top meta, he's very close. Now, obviously, look at someone like Son, Mbappe, Henry, Dembele to some extent, but I would categorize him more as a winger. Then if you go further down, we're looking at the likes of a 95 Bale. I'm thinking CR7 would be up there. Harry Kane, I suppose. I mean, I'd probably take him over Kane. You've obviously got then the Syria. I mean, I think you could argue between them. So we'll go with a very questionable top meta compared to your Mbappe's, but I mean in terms of what he's given, other than higher rated, a 5-star, and a 5th playstyle plus, there's not really much else he can do, to be honest. He is as good as he's going to get as such, really. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics, and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. If we were to look kind of through briefly of the Liga Portugal, when you do look at a lot of the players, they are going to be pretty standard. Like, you could make a very nice Liga Portugal team of the season. I think that is a very good point, and where the fun should be in this game still, being able to make a lot of top end decisions here. Now really you're going to look at kind of like your winger. He's okay. Like, I mean, you could get a bit of usability out of him. Most of them are going to be either Evos in the future. Otamendi's got a bit of a shout with his aerial, the bruiser, the anticipate. I mean, again, you could get some. I'd probably say he would be the only one that I'd go as a very usable. I think I'd go usable here. We then look at kind of like the centre mids. You got the 4-star, 5-star, finesse, ping pass. I mean, you could get a little bit of usability out of him. Di Maria getting into the highlights, which is always nice. He's got himself the finesse, the incisive, and also the trickster, as well as having the 5-5, which is a nice touch to add to him as well. I don't know if I'd quite categorize him as a very usable option. I mean, he would have been really nice in a cam sort of option here, but I think realistically you'd be looking kind of more in the usable side of stuff. Like, there's going to be a big golfing class when you do look at a lot of the wingers that we do have, unfortunately. We do also have the left-hand side as well with a rapid, incisive, and also press proven. I mean, again, you might be able to get Summit, but realistically, at this point for him, I'd probably be looking more towards a miss. And to be honest, then we'd be looking at kind of your DMs, centre-backs, really. Francesco, not bad for obviously the left back side of stuff. I mean, you could get some usability out of him. He obviously being a left back, the jockey, anticipate, incisive. I'd actually put him just here. Same as the keeper. I mean, he's not the worst in the world. 6'3", it's decent enough. We have got obviously a few more in the highlights, and to be honest, you'd probably just miss out on them really. They're not going to offer too much. Yes, you've got the quick step, the low driven, and the aerial. Maybe you get a certain amount from him. You could potentially go usable, but realistically, not many people are going to be using him. Let's be real with that one. So that would kind of be my Portugal team. The only other one is we did get an SBC, which I believe was yesterday, I want to say, which again is not a bad card to say the least. Coming in with the technical, the rapid, and the incisive. Everyone knows my opinion on having a rapid and technical. It's not the worst in the sense of at least you've got multiple options on running types, but realistically, I would have much rather had anything else, a first touch, a pinged pass, a finesse, a trivela, anything like that to really just give this card that one up. And I think that's the bit that they're really struggling with this kind of off league, kind of Liga Portugal, the B league of what the team of the season is. They need to really be almost considerate of what playstyle pluses are going into this B league, because they're already on the outside of, I'm not really looking for many, I'm maybe looking for one or two of them, to then throw in an SBC that more than likely is just going to be thrown to the side again. It's always a big question to be asked. I'd go usable. I think that would be where I'd go with my right mids. When it comes to the Liga F, then this is kind of, to be honest, it's probably one of the better better female leagues. Obviously, the NWSL and the WSL are kind of the main two factors. You could pick some from obviously the D1, the Serie B, or I don't even know what the Italian female league is, but that's obviously not in the game. And maybe you could get a handful of the Bundesliga women as well. Harder is going to be one of the ones up there. But when we do look at the Liga F, we obviously have got some ballers. Now, the big one is Hansen, because, to be honest, I was expecting her to have a quadruple playstyle plus. I mean, she's most definitely up there with one of the best females, quite literally, in the game. I don't know why they're just not upgraded it to that 97. I mean, I get that maybe with the Liga F, you're not going to put Putellas at 97. Well, I mean, to be fair, you've only got 197. Is it that they basically have 197 cap or something, 96? Because they don't, how they have 197. I mean, so I'm guessing what they've done is they've like spread the ratings out, which I mean, okay, but at least in the Liga F, we know full well that there is a lot of team of the years in there. They have 3 just from this side of Barcelona. So I personally would have said that Hansen needed that team of the year. And realistically, when you look at the difference in cards, I could kind of see why she's a little bit under in general. So it's still a very good card. She is absolutely exceptional. But now that kind of begs more question on, do you just go for the evolution of what she can go for? I think the 91 can go into something. Or is it just the 90? There's definitely one that can go into something. Well, maybe not. There might be a barrier in place there. But regardless, you're going to still put her in the absolute top. She's just brilliant when it comes to it. But that card could have been better. Putellas is obviously up there. I mean, she is just exceptional in any capacity. As a cam, as a centre mid, you obviously have got the low driven and finesse, but the incisive and tiki-taka as well. Nice little bit of a kind of bonus for her defending compared to the kind of road to the final that she got. Just in general, incredible. So obviously for me, I think these two will definitely go on the numero uno spot. Now, when it comes to Bonmati, she's always been, it's hilarious because she obviously won the Ballon d'Or. Like, I mean, she's always seems to have been the kind of the second lady behind Putellas, but she's always seems to be on that kind of forefront. She obviously got the Ballon d'Or this year, and she's still one lower than Putellas, which is just incredible. But again, it's another nice card. The problem you've got is they're both very attacking focused. So we are, I believe, due a Patry upgrade at some point. So that will be very interesting to get the trio together because it works better in that trio because you've got the quick step, the pinged pass, and the finesse, and then also on obviously you've got the finesse, the low driven, the tiki taka, and incisive. You kind of need that balance. You need that defensive and attacking, or at least both of them to be decent at both. So it is interesting to kind of go with them together. I still think they both are exceptional in there. I would personally go with Bon Mati being just that little bit lower. So it is kind of just a bit unfortunate that her stats are always going to be slightly lower. Now, when we do look at someone like Peugeot, another very good striker, she's got the technical rather than the rapid, first touch, press proven, and low driven. I mean, I would have took the finesse, but low driven is still very, very fantastic. So again, I would be looking at her more into the very usable than anything lower. Naturally, she's going to just give us a solid shout across the board. If we're looking at anybody else that's kind of going to give us a little bit extra, you've obviously got the second striker. You've got Caicedo on the left-hand side. I don't think there was much on the bench. I think the highlights, very, very bog standard. Maybe Battle could give you a little bit more. Centre-back wise, I mean, she's not bad for the price that you're paying, but I've always not necessarily liked having such a small centre-back, regardless of if it's male or female. It just doesn't work as well for me. I need the physicality gains, and most definitely she'll have a bit of usability, but not enough in my opinion. So I'd go kind of looking at this, I'd go Caicedo in that usable standpoint. I'd go Battle coming down a little bit. I think the second striker could do a little bit. We do have two of the others, kind of SBCs, to be honest. They're just going to be fodder options more than anything. And then I'd possibly go from there that most of the others are probably just going to be a miss. I wouldn't even necessarily go as far to say as they could be evolution points of views, because really you got so many options right now that evolutions are just not going to be on anybody's mind. So the misses will unfortunately just be misses. So let me know down below what you think. Have you managed to pack any? I think at this moment in time, my best one is going to be big old Victor, and he is incredible indeed. So let me know what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we are going in to the final week of Team of the Season. Peace.